You can hear it in your ear. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. Hello? Hello? Yeah, it's coming out. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm just going to give a quick housekeeping, and then we start at 6 p.m. sharp. Today's meetup is probably going to be a little bit different from the typical one that you guys may have been at before. We're just going to skip all that, talking. I'll do a little bit of talking because I always talk too much. And then we'll dive right into the hands-on stuff. So without any further ado, I just wanted to say thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate you being here. My name is Sammy Chuks, and I'm I guess these days I'm realizing that, being a founder and CEO is nothing to boast about. You got to be humble about it. I think it's probably because of the sleepless nights. It's keeping me humble. But I get the privilege of, essentially, founding Hck4Good and, and Silink and all of the different businesses that are kind of connected to the mission of, helping empower young people both here locally in Australia, but also in underserved communities and untapped regions globally. But for today, I kind of don't want to go too much into the details of it. But before I kind of go into what it is we're going to be doing, how we're going to go from zero flag to having a flag in CTF over the next couple of minutes, we really want to quickly point out that if you do want to go to the restroom, just go in the middle of the hallway, just walk all the way to the very end. You would see the restroom there. Obviously, for those who are watching online, you know the way to get to the restroom. I don't have to remind you. If you gotta go, you gotta go. But I'm super excited and actually quite pumped. Long and I have had very little sleep, and I'm really keen to sort of show everyone what it is that we've been able to put together. And to think that this is actually like the tip of the iceberg, the minuscule version of what it is we're going to be doing on the 13th and the 14th is actually mind-boggling. So, but for anyone who hasn't actually played a CTF here, this is going to be a really good introduction to it, especially for those who perhaps might be wondering, how do I get in? Maybe I haven't played before. I don't have the skills that are required to do so. I guess we're going to demystify that today, and hopefully we'll be able to get you to your first flag as quickly as possible. We do have a lot of prizes to give away. We're going to be giving away a free ticket to Hck4Good Con. I have asked Adriana to make sure that she captures enough videos today, and essentially point blank in camera on your face. Have you registered? Have you registered? If you haven't registered, she'll probably get you to pull out your credit card and your phone and pay for the ticket immediately. Well, I do have a lot of appreciations to give today. One of those people, obviously, is not here. Wanted to shout out to Tara. She's probably watching. She's always going, the audio, I want to fix the audio. She's really good at what she does. Shout out to you, Tara. Also to Daphne. Well, let's give it up for her. Also to Daphne as well for always just showing up and being ready to help out. So she's a cyber DJ. If you have bought your ticket for Hck4Good Con, can I see your hand? Let me ask the question. Do you have a ticket for Hck4Good Con? All right, there will be some tickets to give away. Well, all right, who wants to come to Hck4Good Con and not have a ticket? Well, you are exactly at the right place where you should be. So it's good, it's good. It's a good starting point. All right, so we'll be giving out some tickets. There will be a ticket for the winner of the CTF. We are going to intentionally extend the time of the CTF because a lot of you guys are probably going to be like still trying to work out what the answer of the solution of the problem statement we're going to give you would be. We also have a bag full of goods. Sorry, not my keyboard. This is not included. We also have a bag of goodies here. Look at that, guys. When I lift it up, you just cheer. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We've got a bag of goodies that we are also going to be giving away to those who, there's something called first blood in CTF. So the person to solve the first, challenge, they will get a present, and then the person who also wins as well will also get a present. But without any further ado, I guess I'm going to quickly share my screen. Oh, by the way, I said I did have a lot of people to give credit to. Ben Waters is not here. Shout out to Sidams. They are sponsoring the food for the night. So can we give it up for them? You guys can tell that there's no plan for this today. So whatever whatever happens tonight, it is going to be awesome. Also, obviously, everyone kind of knows that I'm also the CEO and founder of Cylink, and we are building a job-ready first cybersecurity training platform. And we also have something quite unique that no one else has, which is called our job-ready tracks. They're designed to be 100% job guaranteed. So if you're here and you're wanting to get into the cybersecurity industry and you have no idea where to start, our job-ready tracks are designed for you. So it goes from GRC, defensive, offensive, and cloud. The whole idea of it is that it takes away the burden of having to worry, what certification do I do? We actually have an expert cybersecurity coach that is working with you. And one of the funny things is we've had a lot of people who have actually landed a job within our program, and they found out that even after they've landed a job, the program is still quite useful to them, because like those first 6 months where you're trying to figure out, how do I pass my probation? What are the right things to do? What do I say? What do I not say? Obviously, having an expert, someone with at least more than 5 years of experience on your side, helping you understand, the shenanigan of workplace politics within cyber, the jokes, the memes, someone helping baptize you with some good memes so you can start memeing on your own as well. So if you do, yes. So if you do want to get into cybersecurity, or you want to upskill yourself, obviously go check out Cylink.com. Enough shameless plug. Let's get on to the main. Yes. You guys are an amazing bunch. I don't even think about things like that. So very, very good job. Can we give it up for Adriana? All right, before I start diving in, we actually need to acknowledge those who are obviously online, who are watching with us today. So one of the things that, for a lot of you guys who have been here all through BlueCon, now Hck4Good, you're probably going, what is going on? There's a bit of, is it an identity crisis? No, it's not. It's always been Hck4Good from the very start. It's just that there is no structure to it. I was just working full time. I'm going, I know I want to give back from my story. I know I want to use my redemptive story to make a difference in the world. It just wasn't structured. And then I'm like, at the time it was called, this meetup was called, Cyber BlueCon Meetup. It was Blue Team Meetup. And I was like, the name? I don't like it that much. Too long. Let's just call it BlueCon for now, and we figure out the rest. And obviously, you guys knew BlueCon, and you guys have always continued to come. So thank you so much for those, especially those who just keep coming every week, every month. Now we are officially registered as a non-for-profit, and we are also taking donations. If you do have a spare dollar to give away, you can obviously support some of the stuff that we're doing. 2 dates to keep in mind. Well, 3. On the 13th, 14th, and the 15th of November, those are the days that we're going to be having the amazing Hck4Good Con. It's going to be the first ever one. So you definitely want to be there because you don't want to miss out, because the next one is probably going to be epic, and you want to have that nostalgia of, I was there when it was such a baby conference. Now it's a 3,000 people conference. Amen. But you definitely want to get your ticket. Obviously, we're going to give out some tickets away tonight. I guess without rambling on a little bit more, we're going to jump right into it. I will introduce Long. So Long is one of those, incredible people that, from the very first time I met him. Long, can you stand up so everyone can sort of see you? Let's give it up. So Long, basically, is just such an incredible guy. The first time I eventually met him, and it was like, Sammy, okay, what are you doing? Okay. I'm like, dude, let's have fun. If anyone knows me, pretty much like, that's me. And Long has been an incredible, obviously, companion and helping out with a lot of the stuff that we've been doing. And he and I have basically just, over the last few weeks, just been going nonstop, just figuring out how to actually host the CTF. This particular one that you guys are doing. So we had to build 2 CTF platforms, one for the day, for the 13th and the 14th, and one for today, just to give you guys that, first time experience of it. Obviously, there's a lot of people here who have played CTS before, so I know it's not, especially you, it's not your first rodeo. So, but a lot of people will be having fun today, including myself. We do have a discount code as well, but I think I'm going to take a deep breath and then welcome those who are online. So can we give it up to those who are watching from Nigeria, Ghana, Victoria? There's a few people who are, you know yourself. You got a link. We typically don't send those links to people in Australia, but someone got a special treatment. We also have someone in New South Wales as well, and the region of Victoria. So it's going to be pretty awesome. All right, let's dive right into it. So if you have not already joined a Discord server, you're going to do that today. So Hck4Good has its dedicated Discord server that was recently created. But who was here the last meetup? All right, you would have seen me present this presentation. I'm just going to go through it very, very fast for those obviously who have not, seen it before, and then we can sort of just get going. All right. So basically, the key reason why we're doing this today is because we want to make sure we empower every single person to actually have fun during the CTF. Daphne, can you please keep an eye on the WhatsApp group so you make sure that people. All right. Cool. Thank you. So we're going to look at what is CTF and then types of CTFs, why play in the first place. Are you the kind of person that plays CTF? We're going to find out very soon. I think everyone is the kind of person that plays CTF. The common categories of CTFs you would find, and then we would look at tools that you typically use in CTF challenges, and then we will also look at the practical, essentially the hands-on CTF challenge that we've actually put together for you guys today. There's a lot of cool stuff there, and some of them are actually really cool. I think I've introduced myself already. Guys, that was before I started a startup. Now, yes, that was when I still had some good sleep. Look at that smile. It's amazing. So that's me there, and then that's Long. So Long is a threat analyst and obviously a CTF developer, and Long is open to work. He's just finished his degree, so if anyone is hiring here, Long is your guy. And yeah, it's awesome. I can vouch for that. All right, so what are CTFs? They're pretty much, it stands for capture the flag. That's what the acronym CTF means. It's pretty much a gamified way to learn cybersecurity skills, a technical hands-on, and it doesn't actually have to be, technical in the sense of the word. It can also just be technical in the sense that you're actually learning hands-on gamified cybersecurity skill. Like I've seen CTF that have been put together that are based on questionnaires, right? You go do research about some topic and then come in and find the answer to that question and then chuck it in there as a flag. So it doesn't have to be hacking or defending or what some of the technical skills. CTF can literally just be a fun way for you to sort of learn by learn cybersecurity or any skill. I think other disciplines just call it hackathon. So if you're already used to the word hackathon, that's pretty much what it is. Cybersecurity just, tech just calls it CTF because you're capturing a flag. That's literally what it means because you're going to be finding a flag. And then, again, so the key thing that I do recommend for a lot of those who haven't played CTF is to start, simple. Don't go too crazy. But if you're wanting to start, what type of CTFs are there? So you have the Jeopardy style CTF. So these are CTFs that are typically read-only. They don't require you to interact with the backend server. You just have a file or you do some research online. You also have the hybrid type, CTF, which is a bridge between just having to interact with the backend side of the server, which is called boot to root, and also playing with Jeopardy type CTF as well. There's a third type which is called attack and defend. Now, attack and defend is essentially what Hck4G CTF is going to morph into in the years to come. So attack and defend is literally like it's insane, it's awesome. This is essentially where you divvy up different groups. You have the guys that are hacking and the guys that are defending. And literally they're having to go at it, almost like a King of the Hill type challenge. And someone is hacking, someone is trying to patch it. I find that quite fun because obviously you guys know that I'm a Pepper teamer, so hacking and defend is pretty much my thing. That's why we are attacking from defense. So the boot to root type CTF is essentially where you are interacting with the backend system, the backend server. A lot of this challenge we have today is actually very much Jeopardy style CTF, but I'm going to show you guys some, a platform and some resources that you can use to start learning the backend side of things as well. All right. So why play? Build offensive and defensive skills, safe environment to fail, learn, and try again. And most importantly, not get arrested. It boosts your problem-solving skills, and then obviously your critical thinking as well. That's one of the key things that it does help out with. It looks great on your resume. So guys, for those who are going to be there on the 15th, the 13th, and the 14th, I don't know why I'm reading that backwards, you are actually going to get a certificate of participation that you can use for your, if you're applying for a job or wanting to, I don't know, win a lottery. I don't know who's going to give you a lottery with this. Obviously, it's a great place to meet some good friends. Like, I expect that at the end of this session, groups are going to be formed to actually play on the 13th and the 14th. So the numbers for that CTF that is coming up on the 13th and 14th is a maximum of 5 people and a minimum of 3 people. So during this game, I encourage you to essentially have a conversation with those on your table, and obviously just form a team. And those who are online, obviously, definitely say hi on the comment section. Our team are looking at that, and then maybe you might even find a lifelong, friend and mate. But the whole point of it is building a community of, defenders and attackers who obviously hack from an attack-informed defense mentality. But you build great friends, and I've played with a lot of CTF with some really cool friends where we just laugh and spend 24 hours, and it felt like 2 hours. Common categories, again, we talk about web exploitation, reverse engineering, forensic memory analysis, cryptographic types, binary exploitation, OSINT, which is open source intelligence, and then common tools you would use include Wireshark, Weaponizer, Python, IDE, so integrated development environment, something like Sublime Text, Nano, you could use Nano. Who here is a Vim lover? Who loves to use Vim? You can leave now. Only DB, Kali Linux. You don't have to use Kali Linux, by the way. You can use, a completely different, you can literally just use any variant of Linux. The benefit that Kali Linux obviously has is that a lot of the tools are already pre-installed. So the chances are that what you're looking for or the tool that you need is already installed in there. And then obviously and so on and so forth. The point is, typically when you're playing CTF, just be very open-minded and be curious, which is what we're going to get into, because you are going to meet a lot of things that you have never met before. And the whole aim of it is that you just get in and start tinkering and doing Googling, right? It's pretty much, I think it's a PhD in how to Google, really. Because you learn a lot from actually Googling and seeing how other people have solved the problems in the past. All right, look, I'm not going to go any further than this before we start doing some live stuff. So I'm going to get you guys to go to 0x11.hck4g.org. I guess so. I don't know how to make it bigger, but let's see. Oh, no. Wait, I think there's a zoom function here. What are you doing, Adriana? Oh, come on. There is no way to make this bigger. Zoom. Well, do you? That sucks. What if I do this? What if I do this? No, doesn't work. Wait, that works? Oh, that's just the image. I think it completely exited out. Yeah, it did. Oh, wait, I can see something there. There you go. Adriana, does that work? Okay. It's 0x. That's number. That first character is a 0, not an O. So it's 0x11.hck4g, which obviously stands for Hack for Good. Yes, yes. .org. Guys, if you don't have a laptop, I encourage you to obviously. What table doesn't have someone with a laptop? I think all tables have someone with a laptop. Yeah. So yes, you do have to register. So click on register. Thank you very much, Adriana. So just go to the page and click on register so you can actually register to play. I have nothing left. I'm actually
quite keen to sort of.
What was that? Oh, Daphne. I'm keen to sort of answer any question that anyone might have. I kind of rushed through that because I want us to actually get to the meat of the of the evening. Does anyone have any questions around what I've shared already so far, or maybe what Hack for Good does whilst everyone else is registering? Yep. Oh boy. Sorry? That's not even a flag. That's just the title. Well, it's intentionally meant to have a key word in there. So the key thing about that's a good question actually. So just like you know how typically other CTFs are just very generic, the whole thing with Hack for Good is that we wanted to actually really just help people. Let me have a look. Yes, create your own password. You should get an email from CTF. Yeah, I wanted it to be long because it's got a message in it. You see the message, right? It's intentional. That's because we're not just a cybersecurity game. We added to provide information about cybercrime. Don't you love it? A bit of difference, huh? Well, I think we might have a first blood already. So has everyone finished registering? Yeah. Sorry, you had your question. You had a question. So it's literally at the very top corner here. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. So in case anyone wants to jump on the Wi-Fi, you can do that. Uh, by the way, I forgot to acknowledge Peter. So Peter, you want to put your hand out, right? So Peter is going to be doing a workshop on Hack for Good Conference Day. So he's doing a workshop on integrated ICS computers. I literally industrial control systems. So he's going to be doing a workshop on that. So guys, can we actually give him a hand for giving his time? So guys, if you're going to be there, you're going to learn a lot about how to protect power grids and what are service stations and all of that. Thanks, Peter, for coming. Appreciate it, mate. I am sure some people have already started playing. That's okay. Don't let that intimidate you. The whole point of today is that we're going to show you how to approach some of the problems. So if you haven't played before, that someone else has gone ahead and played does not mean anything. The way I like to think about it is that you are on your lane, right? Just have fun, most importantly. So I'm going to assume everyone has already logged on. All right, cool. So we are going to start with nice. I love this. I love this audience. So good. All right. So so basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to play the first one, and then I'm literally going to allow you have the evening just having fun, just having a go at it. But before we actually do that, there's something I wanted to sort of show you guys, which is a little bit different. So this is a resource that I recommend. So this is for someone perhaps maybe you haven't played with Linux that much, and you're sort of new to CTF. One of the things that is underrated, the skills that are underrated, is basically just learning how to use Linux. Using the command line, just being able to run a few commands. So Over the Wire, this is an open source project that is super useful. So if you guys haven't used it before, I definitely recommend. So it's kind of designed like a CTF, and the whole idea of it is that it's going to teach you Linux from start to finish. We also have the practical Linux CLI essential course available on the Silink platform, silink.com. That course is we've also made that course available for free. If you want to learn some practical hands-on Linux skills as well. But that's something 100% that I'd recommend. I'm going to show you guys one example, and then I'm going to get Long to obviously show you guys. So Long, I think we've got a first blood already, right? We've got someone solve the challenge already. That's cool. It's awesome. Let's cheer it out, guys. Don't let me stop you. I'm just gonna sort of walk you guys through one of my first challenges. So because we don't have a lot of time, it's already 6. I think we might actually have time. So let's just do some basic one. So if you go to overthewire.com, so it's literally spelled overthewire.org, sorry. I want to show you guys how to do basic, SSHing into a system or into a box. And then if you click on level 0, you should see a host here. and you should see a port number there next to it. And then if you read the information there, you can see that the username is Bandit, and the password is Bandit0 as well. So if anyone is using Windows, you can open a command line shell. So to do that, you basically just need to go to Windows key or the Windows button, that square with a line in between it. Just type in CMD. You can search for CMD and you can open that. You can do that, or you can actually just follow along with me by using PowerShell. Now, the reason I like PowerShell is that it actually tries to emulate a lot of the same commands as Linux. So you can use exactly the same command as you would in a Linux environment. So typically, I'm just going to assume that everyone here has SSH on their computer because it's installed by default on Windows. Does anyone not have SSH on their computer? Okay. Because it's installed. So can you see SSH? If you type in SSH, can you see it? So just type in, go to the search box on your thingy. Yeah, so that means it's installed. Is she using a different Linux Mac? Yeah, that's fine. So just open your terminal. Yeah. So if you're here, you just need to copy that host. So level 0, so if you click on level 0, so this is like the lowest level of a CTF plane there is. So this should be a lot more approachable for everyone. So once you've got SSH open, just go to overthewire.org and then just click on level 0. That should get you access to this SSH information right up here for those who are online. Daphne, can you chuck the link to this online? Yep, so Bandit0, so that's the first one, level 0. So you're basically SSHing into that box. So there should be a flag for you to, see there. So SSH, I'm just going to type it out. And then basically the next thing you want to paste is the URL. And then you want to do this at the end of it. So is that a double column? What is that? It's a column, yeah, whatever. No, is it? No, that's the CTF platform. So post the CTF platform. So we're not playing the CTF yet, but obviously. All right, let me clarify. So the reason I got you guys to register on the CTF first is that there's a lot of people here who already are, put it this way, better at playing CTF, whom I want them to sort of get going and having fun so they don't have to listen to me go through what SSH is and how to play all that. So if you've already registered at 0x11.hack4good, hck4g.org, you are actually ready to start playing the CTF. So you can start playing. At the end of it, we're going to give a prize to those who have already completed. Now, if you're obviously new, which is why we actually put this event on today, is that we expect people to be new to playing CTF. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with playing CTF for the first time ever. At one point, I had never played a CTF before. So to actually enable you and empower you to be able to partake in any CTF at all, I figured it's worthwhile sort of going through the basics of actually how to play any CTF before we go to the more advanced stuff. Well, advanced, wink, wink. So what I'm trying to show you guys is essentially how you can do a basic SSH connection from your computer to a remote computer, someone else's computer. And Over the Wire has done an incredible job of providing a computer that we can essentially SSH into and find a flag in there. So the whole idea is essentially the same thing, right? You're trying to find information. Right, so I think the port number is 220. Let me double check. Is that the port number? Yeah. All right, so once you've typed in SSH, pasted in the actual URL, so that's just the host name. And then you put in a column at the end of it. The reason we're putting a column is that we're saying to this saying to SSH, do not connect to this on the default SSH port. So the default SSH port, by default, when you try to SSH into someone's computer, which is essentially, it stands for secure shell. So secure shell basically means I want to create a connection link between my computer to that third-party computer. By default, that would try to connect with port 22. So because there's multiple of these running on the same computer, what these guys have done is they've essentially, made SSH available on multiple ports. So one of those ports is port 2220. So we're telling SSH, do not use the default 22 port, just use this port. That's essentially why we've got that, column 222. Do not resolve host name, and no such host is known. All right, so we might have to edit, Oh yes, we do need to put in the username. That's a good idea. Thank you. So we do need to put bandit. I don't know why I forgot that. Well, guys, I told you no one is perfect, especially not me. So we've got the username we need is bandit0. I think that's 0. Yep, so if I can find PowerShell. So that. SSH. So what I forgot to add in before was the username of that we're actually trying to connect with. So bandit0 at that host name. Now, when it came back with host not resolvable or whatever it is, could not resolve host name, bandit, blah, 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 blah. Typically, if I had the username, this would mean that I have to manually create a host file. So basically a host file or DNS resolution file or entry, which is just having an IP address on a host name saying to the computer, if you want to go here, use this IP. And I'm kind of not making assumptions tonight. The reason for that is because I know a lot of people here might not have played CTF before. So the reason we're doing that is simply because computers do not understand letters and all those numbers. They only understand IP addresses. So therefore, if you're going to that host name there, the bandit.labs.over-the-wire, blah, 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 the computer is going, I don't know what that is. So there's something called DNS in the backend that is helping convert those letters into address numbers that the computer can then go to in the backend. So not resolving. So I figured we're going to have to do that. Yeah, it is. So one thing I would do is I don't know if dig is installed. Yeah, it's not installed for me. So for those who are obviously using Kali, you can use dig to find the actual IP address. So what I thought is exactly what is happening here. That is true, but who has WSN on the computer here? Not a lot of people. You do. Yeah. So what I can do is every single Windows computer has tracer-T, which is trace route by default. So you just need to open tracer-T, and what this is doing is it's basically trying to find where the IP address or the address of that host is located. So in this case, what I'm just telling to the computer is just follow this and try to look at every single hop or every single host along the way and find me where the IP address is. Depending on what computer you're on. Yeah. So basically, you see what is happening there? So the computer is basically going, typically, the best way to describe this is that when you want to send something to your mom, say your mom is from Nigeria, which my mom is, if I want to send something to my mom, there's no way for me to send that package to her directly from here. I have to first of all take that package, take it to my local post office. And then my local post office will take that to the major depot, which is in Dandenong or whatever it is. And then that major depot will put it in a bigger, truck, whatever it is, process it, and then take it to the airport. And then the airport will load it into a plane that will fly to, I don't know, Abu Dhabi or whatever it is, because there's no flight that goes all the way to Africa. And then it will stop there, and then it will get transloaded from that plane to another plane, and then take it to Lagos, and then from Lagos, there will be a local post office there, just like here, that would then go, ooh, that address, that is along this road, that road. And it will take that package there. So that's essentially what the computer is doing. So it's basically saying that address should be here. So it's still tracing it. Yeah, I think for some reason one of those DNS servers was delaying. I don't know why. I guess I probably forgot to say that pretty much CTF is just problem solving, really. Like it's just you hit a wall and then you go, what do I do, right? What am I missing? And yeah, and I don't want to make assumptions because this is essentially why a lot of people who don't play CTF don't want to start because they just try to do it and then they don't know what to do next. So typically what I would do if I was a newbie, I would have just gone up and then just copy this error and pasted that error on Google. I can guarantee you that someone has had that problem before and asked that question on Reddit or on Stack Overflow or whatever it is, and that will essentially guide you, and then you find a solution to it. And then the next time it happens to you, you kind of know why. So that's a lot of IPs along the way. It's made. So obviously you guys can tell that, this is very slow, but it's fine. You can wait for it. There are other ways to solve this problem. There's another way to find this, right? That is called a reverse DNS lookup. Now, I had to show you guys that because it's the easiest way to do it, and I don't want to make any assumption. If you're here and you've never played CTF before, you don't understand how any of this works, I want to make sure that you're actually following along and having fun. So I'm going to show you another tool that you can use. It's called a reverse DNS lookup. So basically what it's doing is it's taking that host name and doing what we've just done on our computer, trace a T, to find the IP address because we need the IP address to be able to go there. Sorry, you had a question. Right. So to do that, there's a tool that I know which works well. It's called Mail2Box. MX2Box, yeah. Oh, serious, yeah. This is what happens when you don't get sleep. So MX2Box is a tool that you can use. Again, if you guys are keeping track, we've looked at 1.2, which is SSH. We explained what SSH is. We looked at another tool called TracerT, which helps you find the address of where you're supposed to go to. We also talked about what DNS is along the way. So now we've kind of learned a lot already, right? Isn't that awesome? Those online if you're already good at playing CTF, Long and I literally designed the CTF so you can have a go. So keep going, you don't have to listen to me. So basically, what we want to do here is we want to do a, where is it? DNS lookup, yep. So I think this should work. So we're not doing a reverse DNS lookup, we're doing a DNS lookup. So this should convert this to an IP address. Yep. Oh, there you go. Guys, that's the IP address that we need. Now, this is the address of that house. So remember when I said computers don't speak words. They don't understand, what is, Hck4G.org. They only understand IP addresses. So it's just a way for humans to be able to remember things a lot easier. That's why we have all these words in websites. Yeah, because there's multiple post offices because you don't know where the information might be. Yeah, so I'm going to ask this guy. Yeah. Trace a T? Did you find the IP? Well, I don't know why my one is taking forever, but
No, so it popped up straight away. So when you put in trace the domain,
oh wait, it's actually here.
yeah.
My bad. I didn't see that. Well, there you go. Thank God I have another tool that I can use.
I thought you were actually looking up, just doing it for the sake of showing.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. All right, so we've got the IP address that we need. So now we can actually go back to do that SSH again. So this time, we're telling the computer, we're no longer making assumptions on behalf of the computer. We're telling the computer, hey, don't try to go find what this, yes. So just go here, straight. Just go straight here. Don't use all that all those other things. We still need that port, right? Because we still need to tell the computer to go to that particular port. So we get rid of the bandit domain and then paste that IP address. Who's following along so far? All right, that's good. Who's bored so who's like, Jack, put your hand down, you just got here. You can't be bored when you just got here. And one of the things I love about Hck4Good is that this is one of the only meetups where people don't make, like I've been to a lot of meetups where they're like, oh, go Google it, bro, or just, you should know that by now. But knowing where I come from and how my journey has been here, like I've had to learn a lot of things, and I understand that sometimes it can take a lot, someone just pointing out that you need to do something like URL encoding or something basic as, making sure you have your IP address before you can go to a host. So please do not feel that you're not following and that you don't know anything or whatnot. I always say that there's no such thing as a stupid question because you only get to ask it once and now you know. Yeah, right. So for some reason, it's not working still. Why is that? So let's do this. Let's copy that. I've just copied that. Drina is like, it's not working, Sammy. All right, so let's take this. So this is typically what I would do. No, not AI. So I'm just going to do this. So SSH could not resolve host. By the way, did anyone get it to work? No, not that. Right, okay. I'm just making sure it's not my computer. All right, so we're looking at something called Stack Exchange. So this is basically someone having exactly the same problem we're having 5 years ago. Wait, asked 8 years, 9 months ago, right? So we're not the first person who have encountered this problem. And people are very useful, very helpful on the internet. They will often tell you, give you answers to it. The correct syntax for SSH should be SSH root at blah, blah IP address. So are we using the wrong syntax? Is it possible? Yeah, I'm thinking the port might be TACP. So is it TACP? Yeah, I figured. In Linux, you could actually do the column, the hyphen. Well, there you go. Now we're learning something. So because I'm using Windows, it might be different. So what I do typically when I find something issues like this is I do HSH help, H, and then that would tell me how to use it. I just kind of... Well, that is... Oh, there you go. So in this case, it's saying if you want... Well, there you go. It's saying to use the column to bind a port number. So that should work. But we can also specify one. So let's specify one rather than put it in there. So let's do this TAC P 2220. So rather than using the I always forget what that is, hyphen column. Rather than using the whatever the two dots. Yeah. So there you go. Apparently we were using the syntax wrong. Apparently Windows, even though the documentation says, like guys, look at this. It says you can bind a port by doing that and then the port number. For some reason it wasn't working. So I guess you learn something new. Sometimes even the design, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. I always like to say that I'm the one doing something wrong. So, because there's opportunity to learn. So basically here, the computer has actually found the host, and it's also showing us that this is actually encrypted using something, it's SHA-256 is not encrypted. That's it's a hashing algorithm. It's saying that it's hashed using SHA-256. And it's saying, do you want to continue connecting by fingerprinting this computer, whatever it is, and saving the details of the laptop or the computer, the remote computer on your local host? If you say yes, and then but voila, we are in. Right? This is where I pull up my meme. Where's my meme? Oh, come on. There you go. That's my meme. Oh, righto. So it's asking us for a password. Oh, so you need to just put tac dash p. I typically call it tac. I learned that from John Hammond, and now I can't stop using it. Yeah. So dash p and then the port number that you want to go to. Oh, yeah, yes, sorry. Do you have any questions online? I'm Daphne. Sorry. So make sure that you've got the bandit 0, and then at the yep. Joe, how you going? You good? That's all right. That's why literally you're here. Like I've got all night. That's why I didn't invite any of those really famous people. You all right?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to scroll down.
Oh, you just want to see the meme? Nah, it's all right. My mouse is pretty fiddly.
What the hell? I just want you to scroll down. I want to see what it looks like.
Oh, there you go. That.
Okay. Did you only get the flag after you typed in the password?
No. So yeah, you get the flag after you logged on. So let's actually log on. So who has actually logged on? I think Joe is in. Who else is logged on to the SSH box? Yep, cool. How you going? You logged on? Perfect. Who else is having troubles logging in? Guys, if what I'm doing is not for you, you can actually continue playing the challenge. Oh no, it was supposed to be inside of the. Yeah. Oh, that's not. Let me re-upload it. Well, that's what happens when you. That's just unfair. That was supposed to be fun. Was that the easiest flag you ever got ever?
Yeah, one up. Crypto is very easy.
uh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, I should have deleted that.
Changed, yeah.
Yeah, let me change that. Sorry. Oh yeah, I'll show you that now. Some people are doing well already. That was what happened. Has anyone found the flag on the in the SSH box? Oh no, that's not the one you're doing. Yeah. I think I fixed it now. So if once you've SSH'd it, once you SSH in, you heading off? Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for coming. Appreciate it, man. No worries. Cheers. All right, guys, let's take a look at the scoreboard. So let's see who's smashing everyone. Oh, look at that, guys. We have some pretty elite hackers and defenders in here. It's good stuff. We've got someone at 1,200 points already. Rohit, Mr. Robot. Oh, seriously, people. Vortex Viper. Oh, nice. You could have found a better hacker name, guy. It's like, I love my name so much, I'm going to use it as a hacker name.
But it makes it unique.
Yeah, you stand out.
Anyone else like that?
Good, guys. So basically, this is looking cool. Now, who has solved, oops, I broke the archive. Right, go and solve that again because you got an easy pass. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. So we'll do the barbecue one together. So that's fine. So basic the barbecue. So there's one for what is it called? Yeah. So I think everyone should already be in. Instead of, I'm just gonna do this last one. I'm just showing you guys how to find the flag, and then we'll move away from over the wire. The reason I chose to show over the wire is that if someone is here and they're like, I've never played any CTF before, that is a really good place for you to start. Before you know it, once you get to level 20 or level 30, you would actually learn a lot about the Linux operating system, how to run commands. Because 95% of most challenges will require you to use Linux skills. Right. So even if the challenge itself is not a Linux challenge, you'll be required to use tools in Linux, run Linux commands and do a bunch of things. So therefore, this is a really good place to start. And if the over the wire is not a great resource for you, like I said, we've got a free course that we're giving away that is valid at $150. And we're giving that away for free on cylink.com. So those who are online, you can also get, make wise use of that. So if I shrink, I think. There you go. So if we go back here and get that password, so it's just bandit0, no capital letter. Oops, no, that took so long. Yeah, and we're in. So basically, I've basically just logged onto that remote computer. That's not actually, so this is no longer my prompt. So what you see here is called a bash in a prompt, or bin bash, or a bash shell, whatever it is. So what I need to do is I need to find out where I am. Like literally, this is basically, think of it this way: if someone picked you up and dropped you in the middle of nowhere, the first thing you're probably going to ask for is, where am I? So because of that, the first thing you want to do once you've logged onto a new computer is type in pwd. So what that actually means is print working directory. So that's telling you where you are so that you know where to go to from there, right? So it says I'm in the home directory of Bandit. Cool, let's actually see what is in here, right? That's when you look around, and once you find out, oh, someone has dropped me, there's been an alien adoption and I've been dropped in the middle of the Northern Territory. Now I know that I'm in the Northern Territory. And then once you find out that you're in the Northern Territory, you know that your chances are very low. So the next thing you're going to look for is water. Is there water here? Food. What am I going to eat? And to do that, you type in ls. So that basically means list what is in here. And we've got a file called readme. So typically, if you type ls, that sort of shows you what is in there. Now, typically when you're playing a CTF designers often like to do something cheeky, which is hide a file in plain sight. So to find hidden files that have been hidden within this directory, you need to type ls and then space -li. And then that should show you every single thing that is inside of this directory, including the permission level that they have. So we can see that the only file that's technically there is readme, and that is owned by Bandit0. Everything else is owned by the root user. So for those who do not know, the root user is the highest level user on the computer. So that's basically like God level access on any computer. So once you gain root, you pretty much can do anything. So you typically don't want to give anyone access as root on your computer. But typically what happens is you have misconfiguration that will lead people to essentially being able to, elevate the privilege from, bandit 0 to the root user. So in this case, yes. So now we've seen that there's a file there. Let's assume that that's water. We've seen there's water. How do you fetch the water? So to fetch the water, this is a very funny command. You type in cat, C-A-T. Any cat person here? Oh, yeah. And then you type in cat and then the file name. Read me. If I can type. And there we go. So it says the password I'm looking for is that. That's interesting. I was looking for a flag and I got given a password. Right. So if you're someone who's never played the CTF before, this is like strange to you. But if you've played any CTF, basically what this means is that, oh, that means there is more. This is a password probably for some other computer that I need to connect to. So now, you could fall into an easy rabbit hole, which is thinking that the computer is connected to this particular computer, and then you start looking at the different systems and the different IP addresses and all the different network adapters that exist. But because this is over the wire, they're not trying to make your life a living hell. I've been in a rabbit hole I've literally, guys, I tell you this, there was a rabbit hole that I got into for 2 weeks. And I got out of it literally one day at 2 a.m. after I had been battling and went to bed. 1 hour after I was laying down on the bed, my brain literally solved the problem. I was like, wake up. And solved it at 2 a.m. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, is anyone here to see me celebrating? There was no one there. So basically what this tells me is that perhaps this password here is the password for level 1. Let's try that. So I'll copy that and I'll exit. By the way, you can even SSH to bandit 1 from this one SSH box that you're already in. Now that's nested SSHing, right? So you've SSH to one host, and then from that host you SSH to another host, and then it can, yeah, you get the idea. It can become very messy. So to avoid that, I've already copied the password. So if you have copied the password, you just exit. And I'm just going to demonstrate that we can log into that, and I'll stop and then give over to to Long. I think I've been speaking for quite. Oh, I think we've got a bit more time. Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, remember I told you that it's mostly for those who cannot play. There are people who are here who can play. That's fine. So let's go SSH again. This time we're looking for bandit 1. So I'm pretty sure it's the same host, right? So we'll just do bandit 1. Yes. No. They can continue. Like, I'm just showing this to someone who's never played it before. So if you figure out level 1, level 2, just keep going. This is for you to learn. Do not wait for me. So once you've got the password, that's what I'm showing you right now. So typically, because I've been playing CTF, my brain is telling me that that password is probably for another computer that I can get access to as well. And if we go back to Bandit, to Over the Wire website, we can see that Over the Wire has another level there that's level 1. So once you go to level 1, you will see that level 1 tells you, hey, the password for the next level is stored in file called README. Oh, I know a file called README inside of level 0. That's essentially what I've copied. So what I need to do now is I basically copy that password and then change the username, because the level 1 username is different from level 0, sorry. And then what I just need to do is to paste that password that I copied from this place. And we should be in, hopefully. That's encrypted, right? That's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So basically what Peter is saying is that typically sometimes you might find a password, but the password isn't necessarily in plain text. So you need to figure out a way to crack the password. So he's basically giving us a resource that is called CrackStation. There are obviously a lot of other resources there that you can use. One of them is, you can actually use Hashcat or John the Ripper on your computer to try to crack it. You can also use CyberChef depending on the the algorithm that it's encrypted with. Like that might not even be an encryption. That might literally just be encoding. If it's encoding, you can use something like CyberChef to decode it. But let's try CrackStation. Yeah, right. So we paste the password in here. This looks very much like encoding to me, but let's double check. And then we crack the hash. Yeah, this looks like encoding. So it's saying, oh, unrecognized hash format. We might get this. So what I will show you guys is a trick I can show you. If you go to a tool called CyberChef, not Silent. So if you go to cyberchef.io, sorry? Yes. How am I going to pay bills? All right. Well, while we're at it, go to silent.com and buy a course. By the way, guys, we are releasing our monthly subscription. So our platform is going to be based on monthly subscription very soon. So I'm excited for that. So there is a tool that I will show you guys. So typically, for my brain, if you're like me, you just saw some random string. You have no idea what it is. Like, you cannot decrypt something or decode it if you have no idea what algorithm it's encrypted with. So there's a functionality within CyberChef that is called Magic. So Magic will basically try to run everything against it to see which one is able to crack it. So we just drag Magic into the recipe, and then what does Magic give us? Anyone read that? It says it's base 64. So because it's base 64, we just need to find from base 64 here. Is that for real? That looks wrong. Let me go back there. Right. So this is typically when you start going into a rabbit hole. And the reason this is a very tricky sort of situation or pivotal point in the game is that there was something we did that I often recommend new players don't do, which is skip reading the actual information on the challenge. So the challenge might actually have some tip for us that we haven't read. Create a file for notes and password on your local machine. All right, cool. Password for levels are not saved automatically if you do not, password are also occasionally changed. It's recommended to take notes, blah, blah, blah.
Sammy,
Yep.
what's the most important tip for actually solving CTFs?
Selling or solving CTFs.
Solving.
Just
Read the instructions.
all right.
Selling. It's about selling, Sammy. How to sell a CTF.
Read the instructions. I've just been told. Read the instructions first, and then you see how you're going. So, located in the home directory, use this password to log into bandwidth 1 using SSH. Wherever you find a password for a level, use SSH to log into the level and continue the game. So I'm very surprised that text is encoded for this password because it's level 1. I wouldn't have encoded it if I was the one doing it, because someone is just starting for the first time.
Are you sure you didn't get the commands wrong and it isn't actually encoded?
Well, let's try that again because let's copy the password again.
For me, it was the same thing, but it didn't work. I've tried like 3 times.
It worked. I just didn't copy it properly.
Scroll up to your commands.
Which of the commands?
Like the thing you just did right before it worked.
Oh, right. So I'll have to exit to get it because it's already in the. Oh wait, here. So I basically just ran SSH again on that. So I think there was an issue with the way I copied the password when I first copied it. I was surprised that they would encode the password for level 1. That's kind of asking for it. That's being mean. Yeah, no, it is base 64, but it's just gibberish essentially. Yeah. All right, guys. So basically, we are here again. We do the same thing. We do PWD, and then we can see that we are also in bandit 1 home directory, and then we do again the same command before ls to see what is there. We can see that there is nothing there. That's interesting. And we do ls tag LA again to see if they're trying to hide something from us. and there is nothing here. So that's interesting. Where do we find what? Um, that's completely out of the scope of this session, but that's basically permission. Yeah, she's trying to bait me. Because I feel like that's gonna take me on a wild goose chase trying to explain that to people who do not understand it. All right, I just wanted to go back and read that again because now we've logged on and it will tell us that. So it says, so password for all levels are not automatically saved. Password occasionally is changed. Take notes, yeah. So where would this new password be? Now, there was something I would have done if I was one playing this. I would use a two-set called find to find the password. But in this case, because I'm not the one playing this, I'm just trying to show everyone how to play it.
So let's see what else.
This is here. Let's go back one directory to home and see what is in here. Oh, that's a lot. So we can see the files for all the bandits. Obviously, we cannot change into them until we have their passwords. So let's go into temp. Maybe they left it in temp. Permission denied. Interesting. So we don't have access to see temp. So we have home, have lost and found, we have mount. We have Narnia. That's an interesting name. So that definitely catches my eyes. That doesn't look normal in Linux. So let's look at what is inside of Narnia. So there's Narnia 1, Narnia 2. So a bunch of C files. So there's a file owned by Behemoth, and that's not who we are. CD lost found. Don't have access to that either. All right, so because we don't know where that file is, I'll probably go back and read that. So level 1. That's bash command. That's just cat. Yeah, CAT. Oh, I see my problem. Remember when I said to read the documentation? It turns out the host we're supposed to be connecting to is actually called Bandit. Not. Yeah. So there's Bandit 0 to 1. So the host name is actually Bandit. not the other one. So I think that was the issue we're having. Oh, I see. That absolutely caught me off by chance. The file we're looking for is actually here, hidden in plain sight. That's literally the file we're looking for. That's very funny. Oh, oh wait, is it? Sorry? Take that. Any recommended tools for hosting? Is it not? Is it? No, it looks different. Yeah. So we can see that the file is owned by Bandit 2, but Bandit 2. That's a good question. So one thing I can do is I can less it. Hopefully that works. No, it doesn't. Not working. It's not letting me exit out of it. I think this is probably about time that I'll probably, because I've been speaking for quite a while, so I'll let Long come present the other one. But for anyone who's still playing, I think the one thing that I would definitely recommend is just reading the information on the page before you go solving any of the challenges, because it will clearly tell you what it is that you need to find, where you can find the file that you need to look at. So in here, that's the file we're looking for. And it's saying that to solve this challenge, you need to run a few commands. So there's a few hints in there. But everyone, can we please give it up for Long? Long is going to obviously demonstrate one of the challenges that he built, how he would have solved it if he was the one solving it. So guys, can we give it up for him? I probably should have warned you a bit earlier.
I thought he has been doing that the entire night.
That's pretty much what I do. That's within character. So you need to actually duplicate your
Yeah.
screen. Sorry, extend.
Just came down from the Olympus.
Did you solve the archive one again?
Okay, thank you, Sammy, for the introduction. So my name is Long. My battery is dying, so let's get to it. So the one challenge I'm gonna showcase right now is gonna find the leak. I choose this because it's kind of niche to do. For this challenge, I try to highlight one of the tool that you can use to check whether your account got leaked, like whether your credential is out there in the internet for everyone to see. So in this example, right, the username is Sebastian Colombi. So what you can try when you get like a name like this is to think about what sort of variant of the username could be, like Seb Colombi. Usually that's what you could see in like an actual email, right? Let's say, or as Colombi, whatever you have. A sort of thing. So the next clue is his Hotmail is credential is leaked. That's the next clue. So Hotmail is a mail system. So and it comes in the form like this. So you have some sort of a format of the string you want to look for, and now what you need now is the platform to look it on. So there's a plenty of way, and you can even look this up on Google. You can try this, and it may get you a result, right? But one platform I want to highlight right now is IntelX. They harvest a lot of log from Stealer, from a lot of threat acting group, and for a free account, you can look up in the public leaks. You can't get to the pay functionality, but public leaks is good enough for personal use. So this way, if you suspect that your account somehow is out there in the internet, you can use this tool to check. So that's what I would did. Yeah, it's really simple. So obviously it's not going to be work every time. Sometimes it's going to return some very just similar result, but not actually what you want. So what you can try now is to put different variant of it in the search box and see if it works. Right? And there you go. So this is the flag. Because it's Seb Colombi, and it's on hotmail.com. It's a bit simple when I tell you this, but obviously if you don't know the tool, it's really hard to do it. So that's why I picked this challenge to sort of showcase the tool, IntelX. I'm not under the payroll or anything. It's just a really nice tool to use, and I've been using that in my previous role at Vitel Security. We have to look up leak credential and reports if we find any that is relevant to our customer. So it's just something nice I want to share with you. And that's about it. Is there any question? Oh yeah, so for OSINT, there's this website, OSINT Framework. it's got a lot of the tool. It's a bit outdated now, and some of the tool has moved to more a pay, subscription sort of service. So you can't get a lot of can get a lot of free stuff anymore. But still, it's a very nice source of, a nice place to start when you want to do OSINT. As you can see, it's categorized by what sort of information you want to see, and you just follow the thing. It will lead you to what sort of tool you should use for specific type of information you want to look for. Sorry, I'm not much of a rambler like Sammy. So, I actually talk a lot in my native tongue because I know more joke in my native tongue than in English. The tool is Intel X. If you just look Intel and X on Google, it will pops up.
I was there rambling for an hour plus. Just done it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's give it up a lot.
The hang on, I'm fixing up something. Okay. Right. Which?
You can just go to her and help her. She just wants to take a photo.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. So now for the goodies. So if anyone did attend, well, you all did attend. So we do have 5 free tickets to give away. Shout out to Simon. Simon has chosen to remain anonymous other than his first name. I'm going to post it online. So can you just, after this, if you need a ticket, just come to me, ticket to the conference. There is 5 of them to give away. Now, if you don't get a hold of one of those, we are actually giving 50% off as well for you coming here. And that's both on the student, this student admission and the general admission as well. So you can get 50% off the ticket price, which is at $120. So that will be $60. And then for the student, it'll just make it $25 for you. Yeah. So basically, there's a workshop there on the day. So there's training. And this will be on the conference day, which is the 15th of November. We do have, for those online, we do have a live stream link that's only available for those who are obviously overseas. But we are going to be having multiple different trainings. So there's going to be hands-on training like this, better than this, actually. We've got some experts. No, I'm not the one running it. You guys have installed for some really, really clever people. So we've actually got the CEO of AWSN, who's also speaking at the event. We have Saidam also coming along as well. We have Besides Melbourne sponsoring the event. We have Brett Williams there. We have Peter. Like I already said, we have Sanam. There's a lot of really clever people. Obviously, you guys know Jack Sessions. So Jack is going to be doing a workshop. Perfect. Jack is going to be doing a workshop on how to repair your phone. So if you are one of those people who are like, oh, my phone is broken again, I need to take you to that place, Jack is going to show you guys how to rip your phone apart. And, well, not your phone. We're going to use the dummy phone. So you guys can learn how to do that. There's a ton of different resources as well. And then the best part is we have an after party that is going to be DJ'd by Daphne, the cyber DJ. Let's give it up for her. So if you want one of those free tickets, just come say hi to me after this. Obviously, you can scan the QR code so you can get access to any of our resources. So whether that be, joining the Silink, Discord server or the Hck4G Discord server, scan that so you can obviously go there. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. Yeah, look, that's pretty much it. We're going to, obviously, from now on, I'm going to stop speaking and let those who are still solving the challenges on the CTF platform continue to solve it. So far, I believe, who was the person who got the first blood? All right, so your present comes, buddy. There you go. Let's give it up for him. So at 12 a.m. today, whoever has the highest point will be getting a free ticket as well to Hck4G Con. Yeah, so look, thanks so much, everyone. Does anyone have any questions, even online? Also, a little bit of a different Hck4G meetup than usual. All right, awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. Even those who are online, thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it. We are going to be here till 8 p.m. Obviously, just helping those who are still playing. So if you need a hand, just put your hand up, and someone, either myself or Long,
or anyone else here who's also obviously really good at
playing, will speak to you.
So yeah, thanks so much, everyone.
And enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys all at Hck4G Con 2025. Don't forget to buy your ticket with the discount that we've given out. So we're looking forward to having you all there, and it's going to be absolutely amazing and pretty fun. And this is the beginning of something amazing as well. So get involved and and come along and have fun with us. Cheers. Thanks everyone.